Warning: the following program is intended for a mature audience. It may contain language or opinions that are not suitable for some listeners.
This week on the show, the British government is considering giving protection to a new religion, and you are not going to believe what it is. What happens when you give a magnifying glass to a 12-year-old child on Christmas? The answer is igniting. And we're going to list some of the most ridiculous news headlines from the year 2019. It is January 5th, 2020. This is the 2 Cent Show. Hey guys, and welcome to the 2 Cent Show. How you doing? This is 2 the Ranting Gryphon here. I'm your host, and hi Featherhoof, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, bitch.
Hey guys, I have a message for all of you out there. Happy New Year! It is the new year
May
now.
all acquaintance be forgot, and ever words I don't know.
I don't know the words either. I always just saw may all acquaintance be dragons that have a 12-inch dick. You know, that's what it should be. You know,
that was much better. I like that one better, yeah.
I hope so far. I mean, it's really, we could go off and say, man, I hope you've been having a good New Year, but since there's only been, 5 days in it, so it's I don't know.
I've been having a good 5 days. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, if your 2020 is already screwed up, then there may be something wrong with you, okay? We may not want to blame the new year for that, because that's just, if you get 4 days, January 4th, 2020, my decade is messed up. Okay, what did you do? What exactly? What are you doing to yourself to make things that bad so fast? So, but yeah, it's, I've been thinking about this because I'm gonna give you an old man moment, okay?
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
All right, old man, because, I remember when I was growing up, we would see, and they had all these stupid shows, on TV that would, it'd be like some space TV show. And here it is. And, you got these spaceships and these pilots that are flying around and stuff, and this took part in the crazy future year of 1992. You know? Literally, they would do that, and here we are, and you have to sit there, and you have to watch that calendar flip over, and it turned 2020, and you're like, holy fuck, how did time go by? How did this much time go by? This is insane. And so, yeah, here we are.
It's been 5 years. It's been 5 years since Back to the Future 2 promised us all kinds of cool shit, and we still don't have it.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's funny. There's some things that no movie ever promised us that we got, that we never expected to get.
True.
We never expected social media, but then again, I don't know if I'm going to call that good. But
I mean, yeah, let's. I mean, sure, we got some bad things too. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that we didn't know was going to happen that did happen. A lot of things that we wanted to happen. There's no flying cars. Still no flying cars. Hello.
I want to call that a good thing. I'm sorry. I want to call that a good thing. Because with the way people drive when they're on the ground, I don't even want to think about them in the sky.
Well, yeah, I don't know. And this is a thing that I've actually thought about before. Is when you take people on the ground, right? And they're on a car on the ground, and they're having to smash into this one 8-foot lane, and that's the only place they can drive, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Wouldn't that make them a lot easier to crash than if they could go to any altitude in any place and fly around? It would seem to make it a lot less likely if they could go anywhere and didn't have to follow a lane. I don't know. I'm just thinking, I don't know.
I would say, to me, I think that's, and this is just the way I think about things, being in the 8-foot lane with very specific and exact rules would make things easier. But of course, with the way people drive, that sort of shows that I'm wrong. So
well, they're supposed to. They're supposed to know those rules, but apparently some of them don't. Apparently some of them slept through their driver's test, and we don't know how they did, but they apparently did it. But yeah, man, I'm really waiting to see what's going to happen now between 2020 and 2030. I mean, can you imagine between 2010 and now and all the stuff that's happened. And
Yes.
I mean, the advancements in video games and the advancements in technology and science and all the stuff that's just happened in the last decade. So can you imagine what it's going to be like in 2030? You know, it's going to be we will never, in fact, I'm putting this out there, putting this on record. That's even if YouTube exists in 10 years, who knows? But if it does, putting this out here right now, New Year's time at 2020, we have no idea what it's going to be like in 30 years. And when we find out, we're going to look back right now and we're going to go, oh my God, you were so stupid. We were all stupid. We didn't know we'd be able to get new skin by now. You know,
That's crazy because I went back and I was listening to old 2 Cents episodes. Like I'm talking like episodes like 1 through 10, that old.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
And you know, listening to like now and how like nice and clear the audio is, and then going back to your first couple of episodes, it's like oh wow, there were some advancements between then and now.
Yeah. Some of them were with my audio quality. I don't know if I've told any of you guys this. Maybe I haven't. But for any of you who actually listen to those old 2 Cents, I'm pretty sure that for the first, so at least for the first 20 episodes before I got better, I was using this old Radio Shack microphone. That like directly plugged into like a tape recorder. And
oh God, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I had one of those, but I had this thing where I bent this this wire hanger, and I would sit it around my neck, and it would hold the microphone in front of me. That's how I did like the first 20 or so episodes of 2 Cents. So yeah, I was those were the old days, man. I'll tell you. Oh man. Well, I'll tell you what. No matter what happens, I know that one thing's going to be still happening in 10 years, and that's going to be the news. So, why don't we get to the news?
Please, bring in the world news.
Okay, our first story actually comes from the Brits. Hi, Brits. How you guys doing?
Hello out there, you British people. Oh, yes. Hello.
I miss England. I miss going there. I hadn't been there in a few years, but I don't know if I'm going to miss being there anymore after this. Let's just go on into this. A British employment tribunal began a landmark hearing Thursday on whether a strict form of veganism is a philosophical belief that must be protected in law. The case is being heard by the employment tribunal in the eastern England city of Norwich on Thursday and Friday will determine whether ethical veganism is a philosophical or religious belief. Ethical vegans and moral vegetarians not only follow a vegan diet, but also exclude animal-derived products, such as wool and leather, from their daily lives. They also try to abstain from using items such as cosmetics that underwent animal testing first. This case, if successful, will establish that the belief entitles ethical vegans to protection from discrimination. Lawyer Peter Daly said in a statement, Britain's 2010 Equality Act says that a philosophical belief must be genuine and not an opinion or viewpoint based on the present state of information available. So, I have a thought or two on this.
Please.
My first thought is that I had to laugh at myself first, because the first thing that I always did was people be like, well, I'm a vegan and therefore blah. And I always compared a vegan to actually being a religion. I'm like,
yeah.
Look, it's not just their diet. They have this crazy weird belief that's like a religious belief. Yep. But now they're legally making it a religion, and I had to go, damn it, why are they doing that? It's like now I'm arguing myself now on this. But second of all, I worry about this because if this happens in Britain, or especially in America, is it now going to be, will it then be some kind of legal breach of like philosophical or religious like practice or leaving religion, not discriminating against religion, if like vegan, or if restaurants don't make vegan food, if restaurants actually use, can they claim up religious discrimination because they don't make their fries with non-animal grease or something like that? Is that going to happen?
I don't think so, because we have strict Jewish religions who everything has to be kosher, and they can't sue for religious discrimination if a restaurant isn't strictly kosher.
Well, okay, that's interesting. And the reason I say that is there's another news story. It's not on today's program, but there's another news story going around where vegans are actually suing McDonald's. No, Burger King.
Burger King. Yes.
Yeah, they're suing him from $9 million.
Yeah, it's funny that you brought up the thing about Britain with the vegans, because I was already pissed at vegans because of this story. Go ahead.
They're suing him because I guess they get some animal material on some of the stuff that's not supposed to be animal material, and they're like, oh, we're suing. Now, my first question is, I don't want to say, in fact, I want to make this clear right now, I'm not just yelling at all vegans here. I'm yelling I'm yelling at the idiot outraged people that happen to be vegans. And I'm yelling it because they're idiot outraged people, not because they're vegans. But if you're a vegan, what are you doing going to a burger joint? Why are you doing that?
Well, to play devil's advocate here, it's because Burger King is telling them to come there with their Impossible Whopper.
Well, they are now.
Yeah, they're saying, look at us, vegan people, come to us, we have your Impossible Burger. And even though Burger King is already bending over backwards for them, vegans are saying, you're not bending enough backwards for us. You have to have separate preparation stations just for the vegan Impossible Burger because it might get some of the Whopper juices on our Impossible meats.
Oh, God.
Which is animal products and whatnot. Which I guess, yes, that goes against their whatever and things, but it's just like, Well,
what it is they're being authoritarian. They're trying to force other people to be what they want them to be instead of just being who they are. And by the way,
this is what drives me nuts, man. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You tell me.
What just pisses me off is that the one vegan I know, he's all gung-ho. He's like, it's just a personal choice. And people need to back off us for our personal choice. It is not a personal choice when you are forcing your arbitrary will upon other people. There's no longer a personal choice.
That's exactly, and that's the problem I have right now, is that there are a lot of people out there that, and like this case here, where they're saying, no, this is just me, this is just my life, it's my thing, just leave me alone and let me, and it's like, no, that's not what you're doing. You're forcing other people to live the way that you want them to live for you. And that's authoritarian. Yep. You can't do that. That's a bullshit way to live. Let's see, who else did that? Hitler, Stalin. Man, I can think of a lot of people that did that, and it wasn't good for anybody. So just let's not do that. I mean, if you want to have a lifestyle and you want to do something for yourself, fine. But don't point at other people and force them to change their lives to make your life more comfortable. That's not what you do. So, I mean, unless, of course, they're, if they're stabbing you with an ice pick, we can make exceptions with things like that. But,
yeah. I mean, if someone is like, do the whole, like, you're a vegan, I'm going to kill you specifically for being a vegan, that's not right. That right there, not cool. That's not cool.
I mean, whatever comes to the law, that it's fine. Then you could force them to do things. But outside of that, no.
To add vegans to the protected list of anti-discrimination, it's like, are you kidding me?
Oh boy. Well,
I'm sorry. It's like, it's not the same as being a race or a gender or, being born into a culture. That's stuff that you can't change. To protection against discrimination against things you have no control over. Fine, that's you can't change that, and protect that, stop that discrimination against that. Bad. But you know what? If someone's just, someone's gonna, make fun of you or discriminate against you for for things that you choose to do, your personal choices, that should, you shouldn't. That's just something that shouldn't be, on a legal list to stop people from doing.
Pardon me, excuse me. I'm going to have a 9-foot-long 2x4 buried in my skull, and you'd better damn well make sure your doors are 9 feet wide, or else I'm gonna sue you. Yeah, that's you don't do that kind of thing. Yeah. But you're not. You shouldn't, but people do. Anyway, have you tried one of those Impossible Burgers?
No, part of me wants to, only out of because I hate to do the whole screaming against something if I've never actually experienced it. You know, it's why It's why I've kept quiet against the Star Wars Episode 9 because I refuse to see it. So I'm not going to sit there and scream about it because I haven't seen it. But I'm not going to yell against an Impossible Burger because I've never eaten one. So
I went out and I tried one just for that reason, and I know why they call it Impossible Burger, because if you possibly think it's meat, it's impossible. It's impossible to think that burger is meat. It's no way.
Did you see their commercials, though? Did you see the commercials?
Not really. What are they doing?
Burger King commercial where they go to this, down south Texan, barbecue
I did see that. I did see
thing.
that.
And they give the Impossible Burger to these Texan cowboy guys, and they're like, "Oh shit, it's totally meat. Oh, I was fooled. Holy shit."
No. There's no way.
No, it's no way.
There's no way.
That is staged as shit.
Well, they were just actors, but that's
of course.
However they want to do it. But still, yeah. Anyway, I guess my whole point to this is again, don't be too authoritarian. If you want to have your own life choices, you want to do something that maybe not everybody else is doing, that's fine.
Yeah, but no problem against that at all.
Yeah, but don't force other people to change their lives because, look, if it's good enough to force other people to change their lives, then why isn't it good enough to force you to change your life? Right? Same difference. So don't do it.
Should we not? Maybe we should go to vegan restaurants and we should force them to serve meat stuff so that the people who are non-vegans who are going to this vegan restaurant for the sake of their vegan friends, we're doing it for them. They should have a selection for us, for us non-vegans at their vegan restaurants.
Why can't we? It's like, okay, we have vegan restaurants and we have restaurants that serve meat. Vegans go over to the restaurants that serve meat and say, you must have something for us. Why can't we go to a vegan restaurant and say, you must have some meat here? Or we'll sue you. It's the same thing.
And make sure you have it on separate preparation stations.
Yeah,
I don't want your soy-based plant products on my meat, damn it.
I don't want your kale on my burger, bitch. That's nasty. So, God.
What, you don't like your burger tasting like dirt?
No thanks. All right, next story. Let's see here. This is a good one. Interior designer Nissa Lynn Parson shared on Facebook how her family's Christmas Day was memorable to say the least, quote unquote. After her 12-year-old son used the magnifying glass he received as a present to try and light things on fire. This is a quote. Caden asked for a magnifying glass for Christmas, Parson said in a video posted on Facebook. We thought, he wants to magnify something. No, he just wanted to see if he could make fire with it, and they did. Caden's father, Justin Parson, told Fox News that on Christmas morning when his son opened the magnifying glass, he reacted with, "Yay, magnifying glass." The other son of the background said, "Yay, now we can light stuff on fire." And we're like, oh dear. Justin Parsons told the television station. The child then went out and actually burned up half their yard. And yeah, the fire department and everything. Now, this is just a lesson for people, and I don't know, people are all different. Yeah. Some people, but here's a lesson for anybody who's going to have kids. A 12-year-old does not want to make things look bigger. He wants to set things on fire. That's what he wants to do.
That 12-year-old saw a movie or a YouTube video that showed somebody burning ants or something with a magnifying glass. First sign to those parents. I'm sorry, it is 2019. No 12-year-old back in 2019. The far distant past of 2019.
Of a week ago. Yeah.
What is it going, you know what? I don't want the latest game consoles or, a new computer or a TV or whatever else 12-year-olds ask for. But I don't know what else 12-year-olds ask for in 2019. But I'm sure that they are not going, I want a magnifying glass because I wants to be smarter.
No, they're not. 12-year-olds are not doing it. In fact, if a 12-year-old is like, no, I don't want a Switch, get me a magnifying glass. You better say, no, bitch, you're gonna have a Switch. I mean, because if they're gonna go out and have just as much fun with a magnifying glass as they are with a Switch, then you are gonna have a lot of property damage, friend. So don't do it. All right. Get the Switch. Take the hit in your bank account and just get the goddamn Switch. You're gonna be thankful for that. So, but yeah, that's where we are with giving 12-year-olds magnifying glasses. My father.
No, let's be honest. Back in the day, I mean, when we were growing up, we had, wood, what was it? Wood burning kits for kids.
Yeah.
Did you ever get one of those wood burning kits?
I never got one of those.
I had one of those. They had a 3-foot electrical cable.
Wow.
It was, I mean, I might be exaggerating, but it was short as fuck. So you were like sitting there next to the wall, just this little thing that, you had nowhere to really put it.
Oh my God.
Those things are fire hazards.
Well, see, when I was a little kid, my father taught me about a magnifying glass, and he taught me that I could set things on fire with it. But
nice.
At the time, and I think probably this is why we did it, we lived in Arizona. There is nothing green there. You can't set anything on fire, except, well, you might be able to burn an ant. But, I mean, unless you set up, like, a campfire with some, newspaper in it, then you can set it on fire, but that's fine. So, yeah, he just told me don't set things on fire. And back then, if you did things that your parents didn't want you to do, you would be in the kind of trouble that people don't know anymore. So, so you didn't do it. But, yeah, I mean, it's handy if you lived in a sunny area and you want to start a campfire. It's the easiest way to do it is if you've got a magnifying glass. I mean, it's better than like rubbing a stick around until it bursts into flames. So,
well, yeah. I've never gotten that to work.
Oh, it takes forever.
I was actually in I never got into Boy Scouts, but I was really young. I was in what was called the Cub Scouts.
Yeah.
They tried to teach us. Never got that shit to work.
It takes a really, really, really long time, and you got to have enough air and certain like little like grass or brush that's really dry in there, and it's just it just takes forever to make that work. So yeah, no good. Use a magnifying glass, or actually, that's if you want to start a campfire. Don't use a magnifying glass to just set anything on fire, please. Don't do that. Let's see. Next story. Oh boy, this one starts out fun.
Oh, okay.
A Florida man.
Yay!
We got our Florida man story!
Yay!
Florida man is facing several charges after police say he assaulted an officer and bit the ear of a canine dog while naked and high on methamphetamines last week.
Thank you, God.
Oh, deputies,
I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have a Florida man story every week.
It's just gotta have. Deputies with the Columbia County Sheriff's Office were called to a residence on Southeast Brawley Terrace in High Springs, just over 70 miles of Jacksonville, Saturday morning, over reports of a man, later identified as Donald Watts, was using methamphetamines. The 2 responding deputies, along with 5 backup deputies and a canine handler with his dog Casper, found Watts in the woods. He was on his hands and knees and began to growl like a dog. Casper was given the command to apprehend Watts, but the deranged man leaped and grabbed Casper by the head and bit Casper's ear as he drove Casper to the ground. Eventually, the dog broke free and bit Watts in the head.
Which head? Which head? If he's walking around naked, which head?
Oh God, we don't know. But you know what? That's what dogs do. Deputies were able to detain Watts and took him to the hospital before transporting him to county jail, where he's being held on a $37,000 bond. Let me tell you something. That meth is a hell of a drug. Just about all you can say about that. Oh man, I don't know.
Maybe it's because I'm such a clean individual. I've never really done drugs, and I don't drink a lot of alcohol and whatnot. But I just never understood how these thoughts form in people's brains when they're on these substances. It's like, okay, all right, I'm on this drug. I'm totally strung out. I want to get naked and act like a dog. That's what I want to do.
And then I want to bite a police dog. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. In fact, Florida man stories are usually like that. You get to there's usually you can see some reason why something is going on.
Yeah.
Unless it starts out with a Florida man. And then you'll get to the end of the article and you'll be like, why? Why did this happen? Why? There's no reason in the God. Excuse me, Great Giraffe. Why did this happen? Great Giraffe's like, I don't know, fuck.
Some stories, you're like, this person who was high on acid jumped out of their 30-story apartment window and splattered on the ground. You know, and then people are like, well, he probably had a bad trip, saw some shit, and freaked the fuck out. Yeah, you get that. All
Okay,
right.
yeah, there
But
you
it's
go.
like, but the moment you put Florida Man in there, you just can't, you know, suddenly they won't just be jumping out the window. There will be like 12 extra steps in there. That you're
Oh,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
how? How did it get from A? Why?
How and why? Yeah,
It's like a Rube Goldberg device in which the parts shouldn't cause each other to activate, but somehow they did.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how it's like Florida Man is like, Florida Man climbs up light pole smearing cow's blood from a cow he killed 400 miles away, then jumped off and started eating someone's face. And it's like, well, wait, what? Why? Why is that? What's going on in this guy's brain? And, I mean, I don't know. The only time I can see that happening is if you're on VR and it's a really bad game. So I don't know.
I can't wait
no
to get
idea.
my own VR. I can't wait. I'm so close.
Oh, well, hopefully it will happen. I want one too someday. So I'm gonna start up like an extra special like GoFundMe where I can get a VR and then I can do video games with the VR.
I could never abuse that system like that. That'd be all. I'd feel so bad about that.
No, I can't either. There's no way I could do that. I mean, I feel bad enough already having a Patreon, but you know, at this point, I gotta pay. I have to pay rent, you know. So and you guys know me. A lot of you guys know me. I'm too busted up. See, and going off on a little bit of a tangent here, like we do sometimes on this show. I probably, with as wrecked as I am right now with my hip and gout and stuff, half the days I couldn't even make it to work. I probably could go out and I might be able to actually get disability and live on that, but I don't want to. I want to keep, being able to make my own money for as long as I can, because I would feel terrible taking other people's tax money. You know, that would make me feel horrible.
Yeah.
So I just can't do that unless it gets to the point where I'm in an iron lung, you know. I can't do anything else. My brain is half gone. Okay, fine, then give me disability. But
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Your hip, your occasional gouted foot, and your shoulder, are they all on the same side of the body?
No, they're not.
Okay, I was curious about that.
That's actually fortunate. That's fortunate, because if they were, I wouldn't be able to do nothing. At least this way I can kind of limp. But, because it's the left shoulder, the right leg, and then the left foot will usually get, the gout. So I can at least limp around. I look like a zombie, but I can make it somewhere, you know?
I don't know, this great image of you like walking around at night and someone actually mistook you for a zombie.
And then, you know what, and then they'll shoot me somewhere and I'll be injured again. So that'll just, it'll happen. I know it's gonna happen. And then I can take methamphetamines and bite a dog on the ear and then go to jail and everything will be fine. So yeah.
You're a zombie in a zombie game. You'd be like the gimpiest zombie. You'd be like those ones that just sort of crawl on the floor really slow.
Yeah, I just cut my legs off and I'll just crawl around going, ugh. I'm the last one you leave alive during a fucking kill 'em level so that you can run around and collect all the stuff and it can't get you, you know?
Yep.
Oh, our last news story here. We got a fun little thing here. We had some pretty wild news headlines in 2019. Some of you guys know that.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So we got a few here that I've collected here that just were some of the wildest news headlines in 2000. Probably a lot of them were Florida people too. But anyway, number one here. Just the headlines themselves are amazing. Number one. Man in radar slippers attempts to steal woman's wheelchair.
What the
Oh wait, what did I say? Yeah, man in reindeer. Yeah, reindeer.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. Okay, I was gonna say, what is a reindeer? What is a reindeer?
No, that does not make more sense. Man in reindeer slippers attempts to steal. That makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, no,
I don't
it
know
makes
why.
a little more sense in that I don't know what radar slippers were. I don't know what the fuck a radar slipper is. I know what reindeer slippers are.
Oh, well,
it doesn't make any sense at all, but I now know what he was wearing.
Oh man. Oh good. So yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. That's another one of those I don't know why. Let's see.
Well,
number two.
Just swallow the fly. That's why.
Let's see. Bank robber hands teller a note with his name and address on it. I think we covered that one.
That sounds familiar.
I think we read that story. Yeah, some bank robber handed a note over to a teller and told them to like clean all the money out and send it to their address. and they gave their name and address on the paper, and then left. And so, yeah, they got caught. So,
What?
yeah, I know.
Oh,
It's crazy.
Foolproof plans somehow fall apart. I don't know how.
I don't know. It was brilliant.
Oh.
Jeez. Let's see, number 3, man caught driving stolen SUV on the way to bail out brother who also... this is a hard one. Okay, I gotta read this one right. Man caught driving stolen SUV on way to bail out brother, also arrested for stealing SUV. Yep. Oh, I can't clap. I got the arm on.
Once, twice for each.
Yeah,
there
clap for me. Clap for me. I'll insert some applause or something. Let's see.
Wow. Does that mean he's a Darwin Award? I swear to God.
That does. It really does. Number 3. Now I don't know. I don't think we read this on the show. I don't think the show was going at this time, but I remember this one. Woman hops into zoo enclosure and dances in front of confused lion.
I remember that one. Yeah. I don't know if you covered it on the show, but I do remember that headline.
Yeah, I remember that happening. Let's see. Number 5. Man allegedly steals from store, then comes back to ask for a job application.
See, behold my job skills. I can steal from you.
Yeah. Oh, man. See, next one was at 6. Woman driving a toy truck leads police on a slow speed pursuit. That had to be fun. And number 5, number 7, this is a great one. Woman swipes stroller from store, but leaves one of their children behind. So they went in there, they left their kid, and they stole a stroller and then left without a kid in. I don't know what. I have no idea. No idea at all. Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Well, that was our year in a little bit of a blink of an eye, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm always hoping that the next year will be a better year, and I know that there are a lot, and I still get reminded of this every day. There are a lot of people out there that will only focus on a negative thing, and it's somebody actually commented again about me on this and said, well, here's what you ought to do, because you've hurt people around you before, and you need to make sure you don't hurt people anymore. It's like, look, I'm not going to make a New Year's resolution based on based on somebody who will find one negative thing that you've ever done and judge you on that. I'm not gonna make a resolution of my life on that. I mean, if somebody gives $1 million to charity and then turns around and accidentally does something terrible, you don't forget the $1 million. Everybody does something good and something bad. Even the people who accuse you of being a bad person, everybody does. It's something that's going to happen. And so anybody who's going to sit there and just look at the negative things that you've happened when you've made a mistake or when you've done something bad and judge you on that, but never take into account the good things you've done. No, I'm not going to try to impress people like that, and I don't think anybody should.
And besides, I mean, the idea of that as a New Year's resolution, shouldn't one try to be a better person every day of their life? I mean,
I think everybody should. I mean,
one should strive to be a better person than they were the day before every day. I mean, you don't really need a resolution for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, yes, of course, you're perfect because you say you're perfect, but you know what? I know better than that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to be better every day. I'm just going to be better because I know nobody, including you, can ever be perfect. And if you're sitting around and you've convinced yourself that you're perfect, how are you going to get any better?
Yeah.
How are you going to try and get better if you already think that you're just the perfect person in the world? You'll never turn into a better person. So, I don't know, maybe that's some words for you for 2020. I don't know. I'm just a stupid old man. Who cares?
Well, it's also a fine skill that a lot of people don't see. A lot of people don't have, and or at least, I'll just say a lot of people don't have that to be able to critically assess their own faults.
Yeah, that's tough. It's really tough when other people are, poking at you and saying you're a bad person too. But no, you really do have to assess your own faults based on what you know in life. And I mean, it's okay to listen to other people even if they have criticisms of you. But always judge yourself based on yourself, based on your own life and what you know to be good and bad. And keep an open mind about everything, but, don't live your life for other people. Live it for you, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's your life. I mean, you gotta live it for you.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. If that's selfish, then fine. Good. So be it. It's selfish, but it's my fucking life, man.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's move on and let's go into WTF Theater.
For the sake of balls, we must consult the theater.
All right, guys. I know that you out there have missed WTF Theater, and I have too. I've been on vacation, and one thing I missed was WTF Theater. So let's go to picture number 1 here. Yes! Yes, the blessed beer of the weekend. Yes, yes. I'm. Can we have this for 2020? Can all beer be blessed from now on? Every time we drink it, we're a little bit holier. Because, that would be kind of cool. I don't know.
See, what happened there is he was handed a glass of Coors, and he was trying really hard as the Almighty to transmute it into something worth a shit.
Either that or he was handed a glass of Coors and he turned it into something better. Man, I don't know. That's that's the way it works. Let's go to number 2. There's a particular reason that I chose this one.
Enlighten me, please.
Okay. What good is it when your security door is a ladder?
I didn't.
How's that going to stop anybody from getting over that? That's not going to work.
Unless that son bitch is electrified.
Yeah, well, if it's electrified, then I don't know, you might be able to stick your nipples to it and get off on that. But still, that's not going to stop anybody from getting in there. It's like inviting them, I don't know.
You might as well just put a little arrow pointing up that just says this way.
Yeah, go just up that way. Let's go to number 3.
Aww, you're adorable.
Cat? What cat? I don't see no cat. Cat? Where's? There's no cat. No cat here.
Nope. It's like the kid who swipes his his parents' drink and they got the little mustache, the drink mustache, and go, I don't know what you're talking about.
No cat here. No cat here. Well, you can tell. I don't know. It looks like the dog actually laid down on the cat, which is kind of cute. It means they're friends.
Oh yeah.
So that's always good. Let's go to number 4.
Okay.
I would say, if I couldn't read the very, very last part of that license plate, I would say that this is a redneck thing. But that's obviously a plate from somewhere in Europe. It looks like a British plate, so I'm not sure. But
I don't know. All I know is I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm just wondering. I mean, if I saw that, there is nothing that will stop me from going over there and trying to flip that up to see if anything will come out.
Get some hot water out of there so you can actually make some coffee or something, or tea, I guess, if it's in Britain. So there's tea time, hot water out of here. This is my tea tastes like antifreeze today. I don't know why. Yeah, it's a. Oh well, let's go to number 5.
Mr. Rogers did not adequately prepare me for this neighborhood.
Welcome to the real world, people. That's sometimes.
Wait.
I mean, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood was a really nice place, and there are some neighborhoods that are not nice at all. So, I understand that. I totally, Mr. Rogers didn't tell me what to do if I was getting stabbed, So.
Well, it's apparently a furry neighborhood. Jack Furriers.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Jack Furriers. Complete auto repair.
That's interesting. I didn't notice that. All right, let's go to...
I mean, if I was a normal person and walked into a furry neighborhood, I wouldn't know how to handle it either.
Let's go to number 6.
Hi. How you doing?
I don't know why. I don't know why, but if it was nighttime, that would be creepy as balls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, it's creepy in the daytime. It would be even worse at night.
Yeah, because you wouldn't see that stacked on books. You would just see that silhouette, and you have no idea how fast I'm running out of that house.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be there for very much longer at all. No, that is not sexy in any way. Not even if it's spreading peanut butter on me. That's still not sexy.
What the fuck?
I don't. You're asking me about my own brain. How do I know about that?
Are you a Florida man?
No, I hope not. I need to move to Florida just for the shit I plan on in the future. No, I'm not doing that. Let's go to number 7. Oh,
wow. World's largest butt plug. All right.
We have a gnome with a butt plug. We have a gnome who's been shopping at Bad Dragon. We have, oh my gosh. Okay, well, hey, some people want them huge. I don't know why.
You know, it's a subsection of the underpants gnomes. You know, the butt plug division.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they get their money right there. They just gotta make
the question mark. That was it.
That's it. Just make a big goddamn dildo. All right, let's go to number 8. Just look at it. Just look at it.
Well, you're changing it into a cat.
It's a baby changing station. You shut it up in there, and now you got a cat. Yay!
Yeah. I mean, you're trading up. I mean, just straight up, you are trading up.
You are trading up in that case. I mean, you don't have to send the cat to college, so there you go. But let's go to number 9. Oh boy.
You know,
I gotta admit, I threw this in here just because I remember the first story we were talking about.
Yeah,
I think I know.
I was gonna say you did that on purpose.
I think I know what you're gonna say, but go ahead and say it.
Seriously, I mean, you have to preach at us. You have to tell them about it at all hours of the day, and now we didn't know about it while you're fucking driving down the road.
Well,
really?
It's one of those things. This joke goes around all the time, but it's a lot of times it's true. It's like, how do you know when a vegan is a vegan? They will tell you.
Yeah.
That's the answer. They will tell you. And finally, let's go to number 10.
What in the hell?
That's what happens after you drink 7 billion glasses of milk, in one night. You're just gonna wind up laying over in some patch of grass somewhere, and you're gonna be exhausted. Oh, God. It looks like he just got done halfway through the night and just went, fuck it, I'm sleeping here under this tree. That's our Santa Claus from last year, guys. Hopefully he can make it a bit better this year. Maybe he'll sleep up a little bit and not get drunk the night before. He'll be fine. Anyway, guys, we have got to take off for just a little bit. We're going to play. You guys sent in lots of pictures, and we're going to play them coming right up along with a little break here, and we will be back after that with some holidays and some Dear 2 letters. So we'll see you in just a few minutes.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the Australian Minute with Tyro Thunder Drone. Today we're going to be talking about something everybody knows in this land, and knows it very well, saltwater crocodiles, or as they're well known, salties. Now everybody knows that these things can get rather massive, the males topping out at about 6 meters and 2.2 thousand pounds, or a solid flat ton for the Australians. The females are a little bit on the skinny side, being only 3 meters and half of that. Still big! This places them solidly in the world's biggest reptile category. There is nothing else on this land bigger than them. Thank God. Now you might think you're safe, with these guys only being along the Australian coastline, along the northern parts of it anyway, but nope. These guys are all the way through the Indonesian parts and up to China and India. Wow, are they fucked! Now the reason why these guys are called saltwater crocodiles, and in fact why they have such a large, extensive range, is because of how they actually deal with saline solutions. Saltwater crocodiles have a gland underneath their tongue that actually helps remove excess salt. And they're also built like a fucking tank. Thick scales, thick skin, and not a lot of permeable sources for salt to get in means that they generally deal with it better than freshwater or smaller crocodiles. Now crocodiles' hunting tactics are generally ambush tactics. They'll float gently across the water, looking like a dead piece of wood, until something comes within striking distance of them, and just bang! Grab their jaws around and pull them down underneath the water and go into a crocodile death roll. And the unfortunate animals that get eaten by crocodiles are cattle, horses, other crocodiles, kangaroos, and the odd human who gets to be the unlucky victim. This unfortunately meant that they were heavily hunted up until 1974, because all their numbers had been brought down to such a critical level, the Australian government said, no more, we are protecting these animals. But the government's incentive to step in and start protecting the crocodile did certainly work, and crocodile farms started poking up. What is a crocodile farm, you might ask? Well, out in the wild, people will go and get the eggs from a crocodile's nest. If you ever think you've had a bad job in your life, you have never had a bad job like that. The females are very protective of their eggs. Despite being 3 meters, only 3 meters, they will absolutely eviscerate you if you get near their nests. So if you know a crocodile nest is nearby, just stay at home. But this means that the eggs are taken to captivity, raised, and then released out into the wild as fully grown adults. They can take care of themselves pretty much from the get-go. But that also means that they're farmed for meat and skin. So if you happen to see an Australian brand crocodile bag, crocodile boots, belt, what have you, don't feel bad about buying it, okay? These things are farmed, they are all over the place, and 9 times out of 10, you're actually helping people. So feel free to go indulge yourself and eat the crocodile meat. It's a little bit like chicken. But this has been the Australian Minute with Tyro Thunderdrone. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm off to wrestle something.
right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the break, and I know that was a rerun, by the way. Honk. I know that was a rerun from Tyro there, but he's actually Tyro's thinking about doing something slightly different with his segment in the future. So,
I mean, besides being on fire,
which they all are down there, he's on fire right now. But that's okay because he's a dragon; he'll be fine. But so yeah, Tyro, he's gonna like play around with something else, and we're gonna see what he's gonna come up with. But anyway, guys, those were all your new pictures, and if you want to send those in, because we love seeing your pictures, send them to dear2letters@hotmail.com, and we will throw them on the first break so you guys can see them, and you can point at them and go, look, our pictures, yay! And besides,
yeah,
I like to see them anyway. Yeah,
but you gotta
like
do the Kermit flail when you're doing that. Yeah, you gotta do the Kermit flail.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, what? Let's give him what kind of subject could we give him to take pictures of? I mean, it's New Year.
Well, we just had New Year's.
Yeah.
Fireworks? Because
well, see, that'd be hard for him to go out and do because there's no fireworks. How about well, the Christmas decorations are coming down. Do you know what? Take pictures of something wintry, just like snowy or icy or something that says winter to you. And send that in to us, and we'd love to see that. We just your imaginings, your idea of what winter is, and how much it bones to be cold. So that's what we want to know. But for now, we're gonna go on in to the holidays.
What are your holidays? Tain twine.
Okay, so coming up this week, as always, we do have some holidays, and we got some interesting ones this time here at the first of the year.
I feel like interesting.
Yeah, well, they're very interesting, and especially the first one is actually needed. But this one's coming up here this coming week, and hopefully you guys will celebrate them with me if possible. Monday is National Take Down the Christmas Tree Day. Wait, yes, clap double for me because I can't. Yes, thank you. Yeah, that is.
Please.
We need to extend that. We need to have a take down a Christmas tree and your Christmas lights, especially if you live in a trailer. Just because you live in a trailer does not mean that you can have your Christmas lights up while you take them down. Yes, it's over. Let's wait till next year. Tuesday. I don't know why this is special, but I'm gonna make it that way. And apparently this is really a thing. It's National Pass Gas Day. So
you know what? Anyone gives me the stink eye for just ripping out of the. And they, shut up. It's National Pass Gas Day.
National Pass
Deal with it.
Yep. I'm gonna go right out to Chipotle and I'm gonna have myself a ball. This is gonna be fun.
It's a pass gas, not give yourself diarrhea.
Well, yeah, it's not Shark Day. That's later in the year, I guess. Wednesday is National English Toffee Day. I can put up with that.
I like English toffee. Good stuff.
I can put up with that. I definitely can. Thursday, now this one, some of you may like this one, some of you may not, but I think it's good. I think we can work this out. It's National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. I know there are some people out there that are like, cops are stupid and they murder people. That is okay. Well, cops are not all the same people. Some of them are very good. Some of them are bad. So what you do is you think about. Some of them make up
stories about getting a message on their coffee cup.
Some of them do, and some of them also do some very, very important things in the world. And I'm glad we have them for when they do something important. So
yes,
that's what that day is about. Friday is Houseplant Appreciation Day. I'm fine with that. You know what I need to do is I need to get a houseplant. I don't have any houseplants.
Yeah, I don't have any either. I was just thinking, wait, do I have a? I got a plushy piranha plant from Mario. Does that count?
Well, the only reason I don't actually have any kind of houseplants is because I spend most of my time in a basement studio with all the light blocked out. I don't think the thing could survive. I mean, it's got to have light, right? So, there you go. But see, Saturday is National Milk Day. I happen to like milk. I love milk. Milk is good. I drink it. So, yeah.
For all you cow furries out there, prepare to be appreciated.
Now, here's one that you can do. Here's an interesting little layover that you don't get these often. Sunday Sunday is National Hot Tea Day. Now, if you wanted to be really special, you could wait. You could wait until 1 minute before midnight. Get the milk out. And then dump it in your tea at midnight. And there you go. You've just celebrated both the days at once. So yeah, that could work. Yeah, that sounds like a good week coming. There wasn't as much nom days as I usually like a lot of nom days, but there's still English toffee and a couple of good things there. So yeah,
I'll
I think
eat the hell out of English toffee.
Oh, me too. Yeah, well, I'm gonna do that. And I'll definitely do milk day, and maybe I'll even do, actually, I like hot tea. It doesn't say what kind of tea. It just says hot tea. So I could have hot herbal tea. I love hot herbal tea.
Good.
So I may do that.
I know Cindy will celebrate the hell out of hot tea day. It's just not my thing, but.
Oh man. Well, let's get on and let's go to the Dear 2 letters.
It's Dear 2 letters.
All right, guys. So we got a couple of letters here from you. Now, if you want to send in Dear 2 letters, send them to dear2letters@hotmail.com. Now, I know that the 2 Cent Show was on a vacation for December, and it was the holidays, and you guys were probably off doing your visiting family and stuff. So we didn't get too many letters for this particular show because y'all were out there, y'all were out there doing holidays, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. So
He was holidaying.
He was holidaying, and as you should do. Yeah, with your families. And so, so we do have a couple of them, and we're going to read those now, and then we will move on. But anyway, first letter, Dear Cheap Meow and Tweet Nay Bitch. God. These are getting crazy, man.
I love it. I love it.
God, we're not even going to know who we are by the end of this. This is crazy. It says, have you ever looked at the post-disaster winter survival game, The Long Dark? It makes rather good bunny hunting simulator. As firearms and ammunition are scarce in the game, it has become one of my favorite methods to pelt the delicious little bouncy brown bunnies with pebbles to stun them. Then before they can get back to their feet, to run over them and pick them up, they make the cutest little squeals as I snap their necks. Then I like to skin them and roast them on a hot stone by an open fire. This is nominally yours from Snowy Fox. I have heard about the game, and believe me, if I'm hungry, I will eat a rabbit. So I don't blame you there, but I never actually played the game. I don't know about you.
I'm only aware of the game, and it's one of those things where when I look at game genres and it says survival, unless the next word is horror, I don't touch it.
Yeah.
There's just straight up survival, and it's like item management and stamina and health and hunger management and all that jazz. I'm like, I'm out.
I do like those kinds of games. I actually do. And actually there's been one there that I've been wanting to play lately, which is called Raft. And
I've seen that. Yeah.
Well, they've gone all crazy now. They can make it where you can actually get enough stuff where you can like get on islands and take stuff off islands and build engines for your thing and make this huge. You can make this huge houseboat. And I know that at first the whole the eating and drinking that's a pain in the butt, but once you get it down to where you've got your own little system and you don't have to worry about eating and drinking anymore, then you just get to build and you just get to go on and move, and it gets bigger and you get to sit down and be like, all right, this is the life. So I don't know. That's the way I feel about it, but I know not everybody does, and that's fine. I know there are people out there that don't like survival games, and that's fine. Survival.
Yeah, not everything is for everyone.
Well, I don't. If you don't like survival horror games, then there is something wrong with you. Those are the best games ever. You are just wrong if you don't like survival horror.
Resident Evil, Outlast,
yes,
Alien Isolation. I mean, come on.
Yeah, there's just too. I mean, well, let's go back to Amnesia. Jesus. Yeah, it's just
Amnesia.
Wow. Yeah. Anyway, next and final letter, guys. This is the only 2 we have, so be sure to write in. Dear 2, I know you're an aerospace aviation geek, so I was wondering, out of all the experimental aircraft NASA has created, what's your favorite and why? And if you could design your own aircraft, what would it have for agility, mobility, flight range, takeoff, landing ability? That's a lot of questions in one mail. Would it be capable of space flight, possibly to the moon? And would you create a colony on our nearest celestial neighbor? to infinity and beyond. This is from Needlebeak. Okay, that's a big question. Now, if I could create any kind of air sort of craft, right? I would want it to be a spacecraft. I would make a spacecraft, and depending on what I could do with it and what kind of engine it had, and if I could be sci-fi or not, I don't know if I could. But if I could be all sci-fi, then I'd put an engine on it that would just take me to any planet or any place I wanted to go. And I would start up, I would like land on places, and I would build little habitats, and I would have little habitats all over the solar system. And whenever I got sick of all the people on things like Twitter, then I would take off and I would like land at my base on Mars, and I would sit out and I would sit in my little, domed, place where I could breathe the air, and I would jerk off in less gravity, naked. and that's what I would do.
You'd have a more perverted version of, what was that? Oh god, damn it! I was going to make a joke. What was that fucking game that came out? The space. Just forget it. I had a joke and I dropped it.
That space game, and it's well. I mean, can you imagine though? Just imagine that there's a moon base, okay? Moon base,
right.
And you got moon gravity. Can you imagine jerking off and blowing a load on the moon? Can you? It would be so. It would go forever, man. It was just like whoa. That would be so cool, man. So yeah, you could like splat people from like 20 feet away, just so that would be awesome. You could,
I don't know if I want to be in a low gravity or 0G situation where there's just globules of ejaculation just sort of floating around.
Oh god. Well, I mean, as long as there was some gravity, it'd be fine. If you did it in just space, then it'd probably just turn into a ball and harden and start a new planet. So, who knows?
Well, I didn't say in space, but I mean, in a zero-G environment.
That would be so funny.
No, it wouldn't.
Oh, man.
Could you imagine just people trying to get away from it, like, no!
They're floating backwards and shit, trying not to get splooged on. That would be great. Oh, man. All right, guys, well, let me tell you what. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back with more 2 cents. Do write into us, dear2letters@hotmail.com, and we will read those on the next show. But before we pick back up with 2 cents, you guys need to go to my Patreon and sign up to be one of my producers. You can do that for $5 a month, and you get actually a show that has now turned out to be kind of twice as long as it is on YouTube. I mean, most of the time it is. So, yeah, you get to hear what the other stuff that we kick off into and screw with. But you get that. You get the full version of the show. You get MP3 download for every episode that you can put on your listening device. And plus, you get all kinds of other little things that I do on the show, or for Patreons. And like I started up the Boss Show again, so that's another thing you get now.
Yay!
But yeah, just head on over to patreon.com/rantinggryphon, start your membership, and it helps us all, and it especially helps me, because then I can actually afford food and my bills. But for everyone else who don't do that, then that's okay. You don't have to. It's not a requirement. But that is our show for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week on the 2 Cent Show, where I am going to blow a big wad of spooge in space.